Alright, coming to you from NeverGiveUp, and we are going to do an interview today with the wife. She is currently in which state of your ALS?
Well, my ALS specialist doesn't like to go by stages because everybody is so different.
But the form of ALS.
The form of ALS, I have a rare mutation in my TDP43 gene. They've never seen it before, so they don't really know what they're going to do about it.
Alright, so what we're going to do today is we're going to go through some questions and again get some live, real answers coming from an actual ALS patient. And like we said, on our channel, this is true, honest, and no bias. You know, people have their own feelings and thoughts. Definitely comment below. Subscribe, like if you like, and subscribe, like, and what is the other one?
Share.
There we go. If you like our video. So we're gonna get started. It's gonna be kind of a quick section by section interview. And then we got a surprise at the end. So, first question. So can you tell us a little about who you were before ALS entered your life?
Before ALS, I was able to work. I was working 50-hour weeks. I was able to run around the yard with the kids and the dogs, and I tried to be a pretty active person. I was a caregiver myself. I took care of ALS patients, patients with dementia and Alzheimer's. I miss it.
It's definitely understandable. And it sucks because, you know, it's, as a husband and watching her, she absolutely enjoyed working. She enjoyed what she did. And now it's to that point where she can't do anything. So, when did you first notice something wasn't right?
Back in, it was 21, 22, I injured my foot, and, you know, I was still working. It hurt, but I was walking on the side of my foot, and, I mean, it took it a while to heal. Well, I shouldn't say heal. I should say for the pain to go away. But then it got worse, and it got to where my foot just kind of hung there, and I couldn't lift it anymore. And then it just progressed from there.
So, when did you finally receive your diagnosis?
Last January is when I got the diagnosis.
And what was the moment like when you heard those words, ALS?
Life-changing. My mom had ALS, and I seen what she went through. It's like the entire world just stopped.
Let me get a tissue. Okay, that's why we're here. We're going to be honest. That's why that's what you're supposed to do. Is you're allowed to be honest. You're allowed to show your true feelings towards things.
And it made me mad. I was very, very mad. I'm still very mad. Very angry.
I can say, as a husband, coming home every day, I see it all the time. But all I try to do is put a smile on his face. Because, believe it or not, is the most kindest, sweetest person you'll ever meet in your life. Do anything for anybody.
I still try to, but I can't do a lot of the things that I want to do.
So, going into more of the reality of ALS, what has been the hardest physical change for you?
Losing my legs. Not being able to walk. Not being able to do the things I want. Being in pain constantly. No matter what the doctor tries to give me, because, you know, they just shove pills down your throat. Nothing really works, or it'll work for a short time, and then I'm in pain again, and it's like it comes back with vengeance. My bad days are extremely bad.
Followed by one, bad days, one good day. And it's followed with 2 to 3 bad days.
Yeah, I'm hurting pretty bad today.
What do you think a lot of people misunderstand about ALS?
That it's the same for everybody. ALS is different in every person, and they don't take the time to understand it at all. They can hear about it. They'll get on the internet and do the ice bucket challenge and act like they know about it.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Nobody really does until they're in that situation.
Yeah, and then you wouldn't believe the amount of looks I get in the store or out in public. How many dirty looks I get because I'm in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I've seen it. And how many people disregard people that have disabilities.
They'll get right in my way and just stand there.
No manners, no excuse me. And that is people nowadays. Not all people.
Mm-mm.
But a lot of them. What does your typical what would you say your typical day looks like now?
I get up. Well, I raise up. Takes me probably a solid 2-3 minutes just to get out of bed. Then another couple of minutes just to get in my chair. If I'm even able to that day. Then I go get my coffee. And normally I come in here and either do my diamond painting or I'll lay on the couch if I don't feel good. And that's pretty much my day. My caregiver comes to help me and she's great.
Yep, Mickey.
Yeah. She tries to keep my spirits up. And she does a lot for me, too. She really does. So I'm grateful for her. And my husband. If it wasn't for those two, I don't know what I'd do.
Well, I know we appreciate it. Well, what's something that used to be easy or easily done that people take for granted nowadays?
Walking. Being outside doing things. Go play with your kids. Go to the park. Do things that I used to be able to do and can't now. Now you just see parents giving their kids a phone or a tablet just to get them out of their hair.
Yeah, see that a lot nowadays. How has the ALS affected your independence?
I don't even know what independence is anymore. I can't even take a normal shower. You know, I have to have help getting in and out of the shower. It's getting to where I'm going to have to start having help just to use the bathroom, which I'm lucky if I can make it because of the ALS. I'm incontinent at 38 years old. I have no independence. Not really.
Sad to hear. It is. If someone could live one day in your body, what would surprise them the most?
The pain. ALS is advertised as a painless disease.
It's not.
No, not by any means. Muscle death, your tendons deteriorating and your muscles breaking down, and then you get bone on bone and other problems. It's horrible.
With being a husband, I'm here and I see it every day. And, you know, we know there's a lot more people out there like us. That's why, you know, with our channel, we're trying to bring people together, you know. I want to be the voice, and I am. But the problem is other people need to join that voice to make it even louder.
We need to get together. We need to stand up and fight this. I am so tired of hearing that there is no funding. There's no funding for ALS research. All this money, and there's no funding. It ticks me off.
Well, it seems how we're getting a little bit more into the emotion. What has been the most emotional difficulty of this part of your journey?
Well, one of the most difficult, I can't say on here. Not being able to go outside and play with Liam while he's here. That one's hard.
This is why we do this, because You know, a lot of people don't understand how these things feel. We're getting down to another good part. And towards the end, got a couple real good questions, so stay tuned.
I'm alright.
Okay. I know that it's difficult because I know when he's here, he loves to be outside. Well, we'll see how things go moving forward with that. That's why we're trying to do what we're doing, because I believe and I know that what I'm trying to do, as far as what I've explained already in previous videos with our ALS research and development, and not just ALS. You know, it's like I've said before, it's not just ALS. It's going to be all different types of terminal diseases, especially to do with the nervous system, muscular system, everything that we can do, we will. And we're not going to hide the results either. They'll be put up here just like anything, just like this right now. You okay?
Yeah. Go ahead.
How do you stay mentally strong on the hard days?
Support. Support from you, from Nikki, my sister, my cousin, Gail, and Chrissy. It's still hard though, even with everybody, but it definitely makes life a lot easier. Makes us a lot easier to deal with. So if you have ALS and just got diagnosed, make sure that you have a support system, because you will need it. And if you don't have one, message me. I'll be part of your support system.
And you can find her Instagram in the links below.
Yes.
What fears have you had to face that most people don't see?
Being afraid to go to sleep at night. Worried that I'm not going to wake up in the morning. The fear of knowing how bad this can get. And how quick it can just turn.
Shift.
It could shift so fast.
Well, with that though, what keeps you hopeful right now?
That what we're doing, exactly what we're doing, is giving me some hope.
Does that change the perspective on life?
It definitely helps a lot. You know, I still struggle, and I'm going to for the rest of my life. I know this. But this is definitely helping a lot.
What would you say ALS has taught you about what truly matters?
Don't take anything for granted. Don't. It can be gone in a second. You know, physical things, they don't matter. You know, inanimate objects, they can go away in a second. It's not really going to change your life that bad. People, family, don't take them for granted. Don't take your physical abilities for granted.
It's much appreciated of you speaking today. So we have a few more questions. Well, a little more than a few, and then we're gonna get right into the main question of the day. So what would you say how ALS has changed your relationship with your husband?
I think it's brought us closer, which I know it's weird to say, but I think it has in certain ways. And one aspect, it's definitely changed, and adults will know what I'm talking about, because I'm unable to do some things that I used to do. I didn't think I could love you or appreciate you or care about you more than I already did. But I do. I really do.
It means a lot.
You're a blessing.
I definitely try. I do. What does having support mean to you right now?
It means everything to me. Everything. If it wasn't for having a support system like I do, honestly, I probably wouldn't be here. With my mental health, I probably would not be here. There would be no reason to fight this. But because of you and the rest of my support system, I have reasons. I have reasons to fight this.
And as well as you should. What, you know, just thinking about some of the things that we've already talked about. You know, support, you say support means a lot to you.
Everything.
My question would be, what if you didn't have that support? What do you think would happen? And I ask this question because there are people out there that don't have support.
I'd probably, man, I don't even know. That's not something I want to imagine, honestly. Dealing with this by myself. I can't imagine how hard that would be. I mean, that the disease is cruel enough, but not having somebody there. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question.
Okay, we'll move on. But that was a good answer, but it's honest. That's the point. That is the whole point. Do you think that caregivers should go through, or, well, let me rephrase that. What do caregivers go through that people don't talk about enough?
What do caregivers go through?
Well, and I asked that question because of you being a caregiver yourself, and
yeah,
now
been on both sides of the spectrum.
tides have turned.
I want to say mistreatment. They're severely underpaid. Like, my caregiver does not make enough.
No, she don't. And I can vouch and say, even though I'm not home a lot, because I have to work all the time so we can keep a roof over our head. Because even though her insurance is taking care of some of the medical things that she needs, she gets denied food assistance and stuff like that, all because of my income. She actually gets denied for a few things just because of my income. And we're still fighting the fight. I don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
And she don't either. So what do you think that other spouses of ALS patients should know?
Educate yourself as much as you can. Join caregiver support groups because they are all over the place. Get as much support as you can for yourself as well, because you will need it. What's the word I'm thinking about? Be patient. You have to be patient. And just be there for your spouse. That's all you can do.
And that's why I say, I mean, see, a lot of spouses out there, they don't understand what to do or anything. Because I know sure as hell I didn't. But I've been learning every step of the way. And you never give up. And you never give in.
You have to stay positive.
Yeah, you always stay positive. Because if you don't, it'll drive you crazy. But you also have to be honest, too. And helpful. And not baby every situation.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a spouse.
If your spouse is able to still do things, let them do those things. It gives us a sense of accomplishment.
Took the words out of my mouth. Because I was going to say, I know as being a spouse of an ALS patient, which is, my wife, yeah, I try not to do but so much for her. Of course, I'm always there to help her. But I want her to have that independence as much as she possibly can, because that gives her a sense of feeling of feeling useful, feeling productive, feeling proud. Well, in that sense, what moments of love or kindness have meant the most during this journey?
I already know.
Wow.
So, for our anniversary, he surprised me with getting our vows renewed. My dad lives in Indiana. He already had it planned for him to come and walk me down the aisle.
Yes, I did.
I was able to still use my walker then.
We'll put some pictures up.
He bought my dress, surprised me with that too, and it fit perfect. I don't know how he did it.
Never know.
Had the church ready, had the guests ready. It was absolutely amazing. I will never forget it.
Would you say that would be the point in time that you would freeze right now? Or would there be a different time?
Oh gosh, there's so many. Yeah, if I could freeze that moment, being up there with you. Yeah. That's the moment.
And then I definitely appreciate that. Like, I go above and beyond because...
Yes, he does. He sets that bar high, guys.
When somebody means the most to you, and this, you know, this is coming from a husband. When somebody means the most to you, and they...
And yes, I still vape because I can.
When somebody means that much to you, you know, I already had that planned before we ever found out about her diagnosis or anything. It just, with the timing, at the time, you know, money, financial situation, I couldn't really necessarily do it. So, you know, I was waiting and trying to do it. And, you know, it just so happened, you know, it was our anniversary after she got diagnosed, which was last year. And, you know, it wasn't even about her situation. It was just about showing her how much I cared, because she never had her dad walk her down the aisle. And I really wanted that to happen.
It was a dream of mine.
And white dress, church, because we got married when we first got married in a courthouse.
Right in the middle of the pandemic.
Yep. And, you know, so she always had that dream, and I wanted that dream to come true. And with knowing she has ALS, see, with being a spouse and being a husband and trying to be a part of that life, you always have it in the back of your head sometimes that you never know when that last moment's going to be.
No, you don't.
Because time goes by so fast. And the thing with it is with always thinking there's not enough time to do things with the person that you love, because you never know what's going to happen. That is engraved in the back of your head. You have no idea what's going to happen next. So you always want to do as much as possible to make that person that you love the most feel that love and care.
Like I said, he sets the bar high.
Because you never know when the last time you're going to be able to do something. You never know if it is the last time you're going to be able to do something. So always don't take that for granted either. Never take time for granted.
Never.
Because it goes by way too fast. Life is way too short. So you have to learn to enjoy it. And don't manage your life. Live your life. Especially with the one that you love. No matter what the case may be. Whether it be ALS or something else. Cancer. Any of those things. Don't manage your life. Live it. And do it with the one that you love. As best as you can. Because you'll never understand sometimes how much just those little things make a huge difference. All right. Enough about me. Her interview. So coming on down the line, got a few more questions left, and then we're gonna get to one of our main questions today. So what has your experience with the healthcare system been like?
Honestly?
Honestly.
Shit.
I knew that was coming.
This healthcare system is shit. They tell me, oh, no, you need to be as active as possible. And then they put me in a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. Instead of looking at other things that we could do. It's been crap. And it's so expensive. Yep. It is stupidly expensive. And waiting for any supplies that you need. It's ridiculous.
And see, with that being said, my next question was going to be, do you feel that ALS patients are getting enough attention and resources? But yeah, you kind of answered that.
No, definitely no. We should have already had at least something, some sort of medication that actually works and doesn't just make you feel like shit.
And I've watched
We should have something by now.
So what would you say your biggest frustrations you've had to face with getting help or answers?
Again, the damn healthcare system. The doctors don't care anymore. They do not care because either way, they still get a paycheck. And that's all we are to them. And the pharmaceutical companies were a huge paycheck.
And if you could talk or speak directly to the ALS researchers, what would you tell them?
I'm going to try to... We'll add a bunch of bleeps in there. And then I would tell them to get off of their asses and do what they're supposed to be doing. Quit worrying about rules and regulations and stand up for us. Stand up for the fact that, you know, it's their job to find this cure. It's their job to do, you know, come up with these medications, and they're not doing their job.
No, because I think we did the calculation. And I believe since Lou Gehrig came down with ALS, that was in the 1930s.
I believe so, yeah.
And So it's been about 90...
Almost 100 years.
Yeah, we'll
say almost a century.
Yeah.
And what, nothing? Absolutely freaking nothing that actually works. It's ridiculous. There's no excuse.
What would you say that needs to change or needs to happen right now for ALS patients? Change/happen right now for ALS patients.
We need more people to stand with us. We need to make sure that we get the funding that we deserve. We need help finding something that works. And we need everybody to stand up and agree with us and fight for us. Fight with us. Because you never know when somebody you know can get diagnosed with this.
No. You don't know, and that is the problem. And that's why we're trying to do what we're doing. I can't exactly explain my plans on my research center because I'm not putting my ideas out there for everybody to take.
And not use.
Exactly. So, because I am in the process of building a research center, and it may be at my home, but I am in the process of building a research and development portion.
And I'll be the guinea pig.
To see what I can find.
If it works, it works. I'll do whatever it takes. Will you?
That would be the question. And that's where, that's why we want to make people aware. Like, what would you say that the world wouldn't understand about ALS? Or what would you say that the world doesn't understand? And I mean the whole world. And what would you want the world to understand?
That
kind of two questions.
When you have ALS, it's like you're trapped in your own body. Your mind is still there, but you can't control your own body anymore. You try to do things. You can tell, I can sit here and tell my foot to move and try my hardest to move it. It doesn't do anything. It's awful. Absolutely freaking horrible.
Then what gives you the strength to keep going?
All the support I have. Mostly you.
Again, thank you, honey.
Mm.
I appreciate it. I really do. You'll make me blush. YouTube channel.
It's true.
That's okay. What message do you have for the newly diagnosed patients?
Get all the support you can. And fight for what you need. Because the healthcare system, they're not just going to let you know. You have to be willing to fight. You have to. It's not fun. Thank God I have this man right here because he fights like hell for me. You have to have a voice.
Thank you again. I really do, and I appreciate all the love that she gives me. because she deserves it right back. And that's why I do what I do. That's my drive. I'll never stop. And I'll do whatever it takes. Because I'd rather be the one that said, I'm trying to do something, rather than not doing anything at all like a lot of people do.
Damn Skippy.
How can people better support families living with ALS?
Just be with them. If, they can't speak for themselves, do it for them. If you know what they want, do it for them. Include them in as many activities, family activities, group activities that you can. Don't just leave them out because they're in a wheelchair.
As we try to do.
And don't look at them any different.
Nope.
Don't do it.
And I said, as we try to do, we don't try, we do it. I just took her to the gun range yesterday. That's why her hands are hurting, because she wanted to fire her firearm.
Yes, my Black Betty.
So, we got a couple questions left before the one that I really wanted to ask. So, if your voice could reach out to millions of people around the world, well, there's billions, something like that. If your voice can reach out to millions of people around the world, what would you say?
We need to come together. We need to stop listening to the government and letting them separate us. That's all they're doing. And as long as we're all fighting each other, there's nobody fighting them.
Exactly.
We need to come together. It's time.
Most definitely, and I utmost agree with that. Completely.
That is what I would say.
So, what legacy or impact do you hope your story creates?
Hope. If it's one thing I would want to leave behind, it's hope. Strength. And knowledge. And all the love that I can.
And that's an amazing, honest answer. I really hope our audience enjoys this. I really do.
I really hope that everybody learns something from this.
Me as well. And I hope the people out there that I'm trying to reach is listening. Because I'm not done. So as for my final question. So your wonderful hubby sent a letter to the President of the United States.
Yes.
Donald Trump himself.
Yes, you did.
And what did you think of the response that we got on our first letter we sent?
It was completely disappointing. Completely disappointing. It was some generic piece of crap paper that they had laying there. With another probably 100 of them stacked in the same spot going out to people like us.
Most likely automated.
Yes.
Automatically generated.
Yep.
Or AI.
Yeah. And I am so disappointed in him. In his office.
Yeah, to throw this situation that we bring up Just toss it to the side like it don't matter.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about like the funding for research or any of those things. It's where is anything going and who's fighting for anything to do with the medical care system.
Exactly. Who's going to fight for us?
You know, the one thing I will say, we do know that he's trying to, go after these pharmaceutical companies and put it into all these high prices and stuff like that and make more affordable prescriptions. I do understand that, and yes, I full honesty. But where's the funding for the research itself?
There's no reason.
Because, if somebody like me can figure out how to do these things, because it doesn't take a damn genius. It really doesn't. And to all my audience, I know I can't speak or read that well half the time. But that's only because I've always been kind of a little uncomfortable in front of people, but I'm getting better. But the thing is, we keep getting all the time, as my wife mentioned earlier, about there's no funding. There's no funding. Okay? I might not be the smartest crayon on books or in the box.
The brightest crown in the box.
There you go. See? But I am very knowledgeable about a lot of things.
It really is.
And what I'm building will show that. But, again, we need everybody to come together. For one. And two, we need to get an actual response to what is going on. Because, in a lot of people's eyes, like my wife's, it just seems like the rich keep getting richer while the poor get poorer.
It's not for the people anymore.
No.
It's for the government.
Yeah. It's by the government, for the government.
We need help. We need everybody to stand up. If we do that, we can change things.
Yeah, and we need to stop letting all these pharmaceutical companies run what happens in the medical industries. Just because of the almighty dollar.
Which doesn't mean anything anymore.
Nope. Because if that's all things mean to you is money, then you have no life.
No. And don't even bother following us. If that's how you are, we don't need the poisonous attitude.
No. Because money isn't the world. People are the world.
Like I said.
Nature, animals, everything is the world. Money is just something the government came up with to control people.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's plain and simple.
And it does. It does. But this is why we all need to stand together and fight.
Yes, we do.
Okay, this is... Like I said earlier, we should have already had something.
Yes.
There's no excuse not to have something for us.
No, there's not. Would there be anything else you would like to add?
Again, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to message me on my Instagram. Also, get a hold of the ALS Association. Get a hold of Team Gleason. They will help.
Yes. Yes, they will. We've had to reach out a lot because nobody else will.
This stuff is expensive.
Yes, it is. Very expensive.
Just my chair is $40,000.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't cost that much for what?
Exactly. With that amount of money, I could have already had a small research center going up and running and everything else with that amount of money. And at least had a bigger footprint than we do right at them. So with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I really do. You know, peace and love goes out to everybody.
Yes.
Definitely make sure that you like, share, subscribe.
And visit me on my Instagram.
Yes. And, you know, if you're interested, check out the little ebook. You know, we're small. Every little bit helps. So, with that being said, see you on the next one.